Request Madam Sumanjali garu to review 4 agreements written by Dan Rios.
Very good morning to everyone. Myself Sumanjali. I am from Srikakulam district. I done my BTech from JNTU Kakinada. I'm a mechanical engineer. Now I'm working in RINL as a manager, SMS2 department. So far I have seen very good. So I should say it is a fiction, and they will take us from this present moment into a different world where we will lose ourselves with that mesmerization. So did I. Thank you, sir. And that I'm saying now is non-fiction. Non-fiction is a thing that makes us think in present. So I'm bringing back you all into the present moment. Coming to this author, he is a Mexican author. He basically is born in 1952, and he was a surgeon. After meeting with a fatal car accident, he has transformed himself, and he started exploring about the Toltec wisdom, which Mexican people were considered as the ancient wisdom of themselves. Like we do have the Vedic wisdom, Buddhist wisdom, Stoic wisdom, like that. They do have that Toltec wisdom, where they consider this happy world as a new dream. So the author wants all of us to transform our present situation, and he is giving us some ideas in order to make us leave this emotional pain which we go through across our day lives, and it can make us transcend into some other world which is a more peaceful and more happier. So before telling what he wants to say, he has told something about what our belief system earlier was, which made us suffer. So what he says is, throughout the human evolution, we have always been domesticated. Like the way Sir Somyajulu sir was saying, like there have been a lot many beliefs, lot many superstitions, and we were being tamed in such a way that this is good, this is bad, this is how a woman should be, this is how a man should be, and this is the proper way of behavior. So if we behave properly, we will be rewarded. But if we don't behave in a proper way, we will be punished. So eventually people will always be looking forward for a reward. So in such a way, what we have done is, we have always been trying to be our best self. Not best self. We are trying to please others, and we are always trying what we actually not are. That is the basic cause of our suffering, what the author says is. So in order to get that out of your mind, you need to first realize what you actually are. What is your belief system is, whether it is true or not. And the author here says one thing: the biggest fear is not death. What he says the biggest fear is as the fear of challenging your own belief system and changing your belief system if you find it as false. If there is any pitfall, you need to figure it out, and you need to change your belief system. That's what he says. And here the author starts the quote with a small word, with a quotation from John Lennon, which says that living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all we see. That's exactly what we are doing, right? So we have our own belief system, we have our own emotions, which we think they are true. But that need not be always the truth. So what he says is, we are already having a lot of agreements with the world, with our day-to-day people, or with our parents. These agreements, when there is a relation. So what we expect is love and affection, and that they will listen to. If we have our kids, so we'll feel that they'll listen to our words. That is the agreement between us. If we have our spouse, we'll think that he will be in line with our emotions, and that is an agreement between both. And if there is a teacher and student, the teacher says and the student agrees, that is the agreement between those. So in similar way, in this particular world, we are having so many agreements with everyone. But in spite of having all these agreements, what the author says is people are suffering. Why? So what he identified is, we are doing all these agreements with fear, not with love. So if there is an agreement based on fear, all that we get is frustration, boredom, or most of the times we even think where we are lost in this life. But if the agreements are based on love and affection, maybe with the nature, or maybe with our fellow men, or with yourself, so the life will be beautiful. That is what the author is trying to say. So in order to get them, he has proposed the 4 agreements he wants us to make with ourselves. So the first agreement which he wants us to make with ourselves is, be impeccable with your words. Be impeccable with your words. Why? Because words are the manifestation of our thoughts, our emotions, and what we are. Right? So when we say something good, people will feel good. When we say something bad, people will obviously feel bad, because we are transcending our vibrations to them. So it is better to get them in a better way. Here he has quoted, as Leela Prasad was saying, the Nazis thing. In Germany, there was nothing but the racist and whatever we call it as a black magic. We call that, yes. The hatred speech, the hate speech which Adolf Hitler has told, it has imposed a black magic with his words, nothing more than that, which has caused the Holocaust. So if the words, they are having the power of either making the world a peaceful world, or also a black magic, a world of Holocaust which we have seen. He has given us a small example. Here, a lady, she comes after a heavy work in the office. After that, she'll come home and she'll have her daughter singing a song loudly, joyfully, and playfully. But since the lady was in very tired mode, she told her, "Why are you singing so ugly? Stop it! You will never sing so well." So these are the kind of words that she is imposing on her, which made the girl think that she is really bad and she sings ugly. And after that, she never sang. So that is the capacity of our words. And along with that, in a day-to-day life, we generally will see the people and we'll say, "How's your day going?" So what most of the people say? "Yeah, it's going on, going on." Why should it go on? You could say, "Yeah, it's going amazing." You know. So if we can say that, even if it is not working well, if we could say that, "Yeah, it's amazing." So with that particular word, we can feel the emotion, we can feel the positive energy, and the same will carry forward to the other person. They'll feel the good and you'll feel the good. Everything will make a positive energy. So with these words, he is saying, if you want to be happy and be in heaven, feel powerful, use words in correct way. Share love, tell yourself how wonderful you are and how wonderful you feel. This is the first agreement which he wants us to make with ourselves. When it comes to the second one, don't take anything personal. మహాప్రస్థానంలో శ్రీశ్రీ గారు శైశవ గీత ద్వారా ఒక చిన్న మాట చెప్పున్నారు. ఏంటంటే, మేఘం మబ్బులు కురిసినా, వాన కురిసినా, మెరుపు మెరిసినా, ఆకాశంలో హరివిల్లు విరిసినా అంతా తమ కోసమే అనుకుంటారంట పిల్లలు. దట్స్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ థింగ్. అలాగే ఆఫీస్లో బాస్ సీరియస్గా ఉన్నా, ఇంట్లో వైఫ్ చిరాగ్గా అలిగి కూర్చున్నా, పిల్లలు మాట వినకపోతున్నా, వీటన్నింటికి కారణం నేనే, ఆర్ ప్రపంచ వరల్డ్ వార్ అవుతుంది దానికి కూడా నేనే కారణం అనుకుంటాం మనం, రైట్? సో ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ విత్ us is we think that everything happens because of us. So we take things personally. So if we take things personally, all that we feel is emotional pain and frustration and boredom. So the author here says that it is not your fault that the person has blamed you. It is their problem which they had in their life that is making this particular comment towards you. So you better understand the version of that particular person is not anywhere linked to you, it is their perception. And here the author says a beautiful thing, that is, see, this is everyone will have their own particular story in which they are the directors, they are the producers, they are the actors, you all are secondary players. So he'll see things in his perception. Then why should you take it personally? It's not correct. So he also suggests us to do one thing in order to do this. How is, I know I sing, and one person comes to me, and maybe he's my friend, he'll come to me and say, you sing so well, I love your singing and I'm looking forward to your next session. But when my rival or opponent comes, they might say, oh what bro, you have sang so well, but you lost so many lyrics in that, you missed out so many tunes in that. So this shouldn't happen, I'm not expecting this from you from the next time. So what should I feel about it? Should I be happy or should I be worried? See, the thing is, what we should do is, I know what I am, right? So what the author says is, you either need not be happy for the praise, you do not feel low for your negative comment upon it. So you should know what you are. So if you know what you are, and if you can never think of having the validation from anyone, then why should you be bothered about others' perceptions? So don't take anything personally. Even if it is the gunshot at your head from the other person, then also don't take anything personally. That's his problem. That's what the author says. So the second argument he wants us to take is, don't take anything personally. So when we really see others as they are without taking things personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. If you are truthful with yourself, you can save a lot of emotional pain. So you need to trust yourself. And when it comes to the third agreement, he says us to never make assumptions. This is the biggest part in this world which has caused all sorts of violences or nonsenses or the hell in particular earth. When it comes to relations, I want to give an example from day-to-day life, where a husband comes from the office with a heavy lot of work, and the wife, she works at home and she is exhausted. Both will come and think that they'll understand how my day was, so they'll give me the console. Everyone will think the same thing, but ultimately what happens? Nobody will know how the other person is feeling. So we just make an assumption, and we think that the irony of the problem is, we think that our assumption is true, which eventually may or may not be. So most of the problems will arise when we make assumptions. In Telugu, there used to be one story which I have read a very long time back. That is, ఇద్దరు రాజుల మధ్య సామంత రాజులు ఉండేవాళ్ళు. వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే, ఒక రాజు ఇంకొక రాజుకి లెటర్ రాస్తున్నారు, ఇట్లా నాకు అర్జెంటుగా ఒక కోడిగుడ్డంతా వజ్రం కావాలి లేకపోతే అని చెప్పేసి అతనికి పంపిస్తాడు. సో ఇటువైపు ఉన్న రాజు అది చదువుకుంటాడు, కోడిగుడ్డంత వజ్రం కావాలి లేకపోతే లేదు, సో అని చెప్పి మళ్ళీ ఇతను లెటర్ పంపిస్తాడు, నా దగ్గర ఆ వజ్రం లేదు అయితే. సో ఇప్పుడు ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే, ఇటువైపు ఉన్న రాజు ఏమనుకున్నాడంటే, నా దగ్గర వజ్రం లేదు, నీ దగ్గర వజ్రం ఉంటే ఇవ్వు, లేకపోతే నేను ఈ రాజ్యం మీదకి దండెత్తుతా. ఇటువైపు ఉన్నవాడు ఏమనుకుంటాడు, ఓకే నీ దగ్గర వజ్రం లేదు, నేను ఇవ్వను, ఉన్నా సరే, అయితే ఏం చేస్తావు? సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద కన్వర్సేషన్ దే అస్యూమ్. బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఏంటి? నాకు ఒక కోడిగుడ్డంత వజ్రం కావాలి, ఒకవేళ అది లేకపోతే చిన్న నీలమనైనా పర్వాలేదు అన్నది ఇతని ఇష్యూ. అతను ఏం చెప్పాలి అనుకున్నాడు, నా దగ్గర అది లేదు, అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయమంటారు, ఏది బెటర్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద యాక్చువల్ థాట్ దే హ్యావ్, బట్ వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ ప్రెజ్యూమ్ దే లెట్ ఇట్ టు అ వార్. Okay. So this is a major problem which we assume. I mean, when we assume and we think that it is true, this could happen. So what the author here says is, either you choose who is aligned with your thoughts or make a clear communication with your ones. We always assume that others feel like what we feel, others think what we think, and others judge us the way we judge ourselves. So all these assumptions, they will not make us feel happy. So we better never assume, and the major problem why we assume is we have a fear to ask for the clarification. So once we get that fear, we will never ask for the clarification and we will never know what the truth is. So have the courage to ask, have the courage to know clearly, and this problem arises mostly with our bosses. So what we do on a day-to-day basis, our bosses tells us something and we may or may not understand it properly, and we'll assume he has told something, and what we do is we'll spend almost half of the day thinking what has to be done. Ultimately no works happens. Ultimately you have to go again and ask the clarification and seek the clarification, then you get the work done. So in between what you have done, you have faced mental agony, frustration, ultimately the time also got wasted. So it is better to ask for clarification instead of assuming. And the last and final agreement which he wants us to make with ourselves is, always do your best. So all the above three agreements, they must be religiously done with our best. So be impeccable with your word. In doing that, do your best. And the next one is, don't take anything personal. In that also you do your best. And don't assume anything. In that also you do your best. Doing best is not always same, because sometimes we will be happy and in a good health. Sometimes we may not be in a good health. So whatever the best we can do in that particular situation, that only he wants us to do. One day one person who is almost fed up with his life went to a Buddhist monk and asked him, sir, I wanted to transcend and I wanted to learn the wisdom. I mean, in how many years I'll attain it if I do the meditation for 4 hours a day? Then the Buddhist monk says that, yeah, in this way you will get 10 years. Oh, 10 years. Then what if I do it for 8 hours a day meditation? Then the Buddhist monk says that, no, in such case you may take 20 years. Then the person got astounded. Why, sir? Why I'm spending so much time on this that you are saying that I will reach the goal late? Why? Then the Buddhist monk told that, when you can do your best in 2 hours and enjoy the rest of your life for the remaining time, why should you spend more on that meditation meaninglessly? So when you can do things when at its pace and at its your best, do at that only. And most of we people what do is, we will not enjoy our work. We will work for results. So when we are always working for results, what the author says is, not only the author, in our Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna also told many a times that karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetubhu mate sangastva karmanehi, which means that you have the authority upon your karmas, means works, deeds, but not on the results. So if you could do your best in the work you have chosen, and if you don't always have an eye upon your reward will automatically come, and you could enjoy your life, you could enjoy your work, eventually the results will come. So you always try to do your best and enjoy the life, he told. And at the end, what he told is, these are the 4 agreements in total. In order to achieve that, he has given a small plan. Nothing can be achieved in a single day. right? So what he says is go at a step every day. So take all these 4 agreements, try to do it in a single day, and if you could do it, it's good. Keep it for the next day, do it the next day. So in such a way, if you could do, you could save a lot of mental pain, and you will feel that you are empowered. Finally, we need to break the old agreements. Breaking the old agreements is not as easy as we are talking of, because this Kanya Sulkam, and in which they are told that yes, what is it? Sati Sahagamanam, Balya Vivahalu, ఇవన్నింటినీ కూడా eradicate చేయడానికి it never took one day or one person. It took a lot of struggle, it took a lot of pain. So, similarly, when we are, these agreements are meant to be with ourselves, where we need to master the awareness by mastering of the transformation and by mastering the intent. So, if we are aware why we are doing this and we transform, we are working on our transformation and we are working on with the right intent, the author says that we can achieve it easily. So practice makes man perfect, women also. The discipline of the warrior is so important in controlling our own behavior. Every day we wake up with some positive energy. May it be mental, emotional and physical. But if we drain all our emotional energy in the entire day, we will not have any other energy left in order to transform our life. So spend less emotional energy and try to use your mental energy in order to uplift your life. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And this is my first book review. Please bear with my language. I'm from Telugu medium.
Very fluent. Any questions? Any doubts?
Yes.
Everything she has covered.
Yes.
సార్ మీరు చదవని బుక్ ఏదంటే చెప్పండి.
Sir, 50 million plus sir, 5 plus. Yes sir, yes, I have this problem with that also. I personally don't understand whether I can implement or not.
చెప్పాలని అనుకుంటారు. నేను కూడా మీరు అనుకుంటారు, మీరు క్లాస్ చెప్పారని కూడా అనుకుంటారు. ఎందుకంటే ఐడెంటిటీ లేకపోతే అసలు హ్యూమానిటీ లేదు. పర్సనాలిటీ సమ్ అట్రాక్షన్ కొంత ఐడెంటిటీ జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. అది మొత్తం పర్సనల్ తీసి మాత్రం పూర్తిగా అంతే సైలెన్స్ కూర్చోవాలి.
Maybe negative thing personally is yes. So, అంటే పొగడ్తలకి పొంగిపోవద్దు, తిట్లకి లొంగిపోవద్దు, నీ దారిలో నువ్వు నడుచుకో.
మాట చిన్న మాట కానీ గట్టిగా స్థితప్రజిత, అది కొన్ని జన్మల పని అంటారు, లేదా కొన్ని నిమిషాల పని కూడా కావచ్చు కొంతమందికి.
This book was actually written in 1997, sir. Still this
all language రాసి ఇంగ్లీష్లో
yes. And this is a very simple book, like 92 pages. It's a one-go book. That's why I'm choosing it. And I felt, like many other management books, he is not giving so many mechanisms or so many methods. He has given just 4. So even following something. మా నాన్నగారు ఒకటి చెప్తారు సార్, కొండంత సామెత కన్నా అనువంత ఆచరణ మిన్నా అన్నట్టు. సో ఆ విధంగా పెద్ద పెద్ద బుక్స్ చాలా చాలా థియరీస్ అవన్నీ చదివే కంటే అట్లీస్ట్ 4 బాగున్నాయి. సో 4 ఈజీగా ట్రై చేయొచ్చు కదా.
చాలా బాగున్నాయి, ఇన్ ది సెన్స్ చీవాట్లు తగ్గాయి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
Actually, we are having a tradition of
Thank you, sir.
giving a book gift. for the first review. First